So you guys, in an attempt to catch up on my videos, I am in fact doing 2 videos in one night, and this next video is about more recent happenings with my club at Waseda. So back in November I joined a swimming club at Waseda, and it's legitimate. They do swim practices, and I believe late spring, summer is really their competing season, so I won't see much of it, but they are a competitive swimming team. So anyway, this January was our first practice competition, I guess. It's not a real competition because it was only between our group, but it was the type of thing where they did first years versus second years and third years versus fourth years, etc. So we did that event, and it was fun, and afterwards we went to a Nomikai, or once again a drinking party. And at the Nomikai, that was quite an experience. Like, I cannot unsee the things I saw at the Nomikai. So I'm going to caption this right now. If you do not like stories with bodily fluids, just sign off right now because it's going to get a little gnarly. Alright, so we went to this Nomikai, and typically how Nomikais are set up is you go to a specific place. Like there's places all over Tokyo that are set up for this kind of situation where you go in a huge group of about 30 people, and then you have big long tables that seat about 10-15 people, and then how it works is you pay for 2 hours of being there, and in those 2 hours you get unlimited drinks and unlimited food. And I mean, the food is buffet style almost, where they give you like these big platters for the table so everybody can share. And then also with drinks, they give you big pitchers of what is essentially, it's either beer or it's alcohol of beer content. It is not hard liquor. There is no hard liquor at these parties. Which brings me to the most interesting point about this whole story. So, as an American, being in Japan, when you go not only to izakayas but to bars, Japanese liquor is notoriously weak. And it is actually known that there's the specific enzyme that helps to metabolize alcohol, and people of Asian heritage literally have significantly less of this enzyme than other ethnicities. So, Japanese people, de facto, get drunk and, frankly, wasted way easier than any other ethnicity I've run into so far. And to be more specific, all we had, as I said again, was stuff of about 8% alcohol content, and then to make it even better, we had glasses that were about, I don't know, this big. I mean, just ever so slightly bigger than a shot glass, and we're only there for 2 hours, and we have a lot of food. So, my Japanese counterparts are really getting wasted off of these little tiny glasses of beer. Literally, after maybe about 10 of those beers, they're like stumbling about and saying silly things and obviously intoxicated, and I'm sitting here at the Nomikai. Granted, I'm enjoying the spectacle, but I'm also really perplexed because, you know, by the time they're on their 10th glass, I've had at least 10, probably closer to 20, and because literally, these glasses are like 3 sips. You know, you pour in one and you go, have another, have another, have another, and it keeps going on and on and on. And, you know, by this point, I'm not even, like, buzzed. Like, I'm simply enjoying the drink. It's just, you know, it's not very high alcohol content. There's no effect yet, especially if there's food. There's a lot of food. I was eating a lot of food. There's no way anything's gonna happen. And so I'm sitting there, like, watching my Japanese counterparts, and I'm thinking to myself secretly, was I given, like, a placebo pitcher of beer, and then the rest of my counterparts secretly have been putting in, like, whiskey or some sort of hard liquor in the rest of them? Because this is just ridiculous, in the difference of sobriety between, like, myself and my teammates. But that wasn't even the most shocking part. What was incredibly shocking is that several of my teammates got incredibly sick. And when I say sick, I mean they brought a plastic bag to the table, when they got sick, they threw up in the plastic bag, went to the bathroom, cleaned themselves up, came back, and drank again, drank more. And some people did it 2, 3, 4 times. It was just amazing and disgusting. And the other amazing thing was, like, they didn't make any mess. I could at least appreciate that. But seriously, there are times when I think Japanese drinking culture is just gross. That's one of them. And what's even more is that I ran into a friend of mine who's having her own Nomikai with a different sports team, and we had a discussion about the events of that night later, and she proceeded to tell me that the whole barfing and then returning cycle is in fact a normal process of the Japanese Nomikai, so I was pretty surprised to hear about that. But I mean, other than that, like, I had fun, you know. It was a good experience, and I'm sure I'll encounter it in the future. So that's what I have to report for the Nomikai, and more to follow soon.